Most entrepreneurs struggle with how to actually make money from their book. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you how I made £300,000 from one book and how you can do it too. Welcome back to the Inspired by Show. Now, today I'm going to share with you how I made £300,000 from one book and how you can do it too, without a traditional publisher and without a big audience. Now, what I have learned from helping hundreds of authors and co-authors to write and publish their best-selling books is there is a clear strategy to either making money from a book and not. And what I learned when I wrote my first book, Determined and Dangerous, back 5 years ago, was that I was writing a book that I wanted to help build my business. I wanted to build my brand. I wanted to be a speaker. I was a coach back then, and I was selling one-to-one coaching services and group coaching packages. And so I decided to write my first book, Determined and Dangerous, to help me do that, to help me position myself, to help people to know who I was and open doors to speaking opportunities. So I wrote my first book, Determined and Dangerous. And in this book, I focused really on positioning myself, giving loads of value to my readers, and really helping them see who I was so they could know, like, and trust me, and ultimately then work with me. And it was great. I got some good speaking opportunities. I achieved best-selling author status, which for me was a dream come true. But when I expected to get clients from it and get more inquiries and get more leads from it, and ultimately add it to my funnels so I could build my business, it didn't quite work out that way. And so I was really struggling with how to make it work, and I didn't want to make the same mistake again. So I worked out over a series of years how to actually make money from a book, so much so that I launched my own hybrid publishing company in 2019. And since then, we've published hundreds of fantastic books, many of which have achieved best-selling status. And at the point of which I'm recording this video, we have 62 best-selling books that we have published. And what we found during this process is we found a very specific strategy that you can use to be able to make money from your book so that you're not just relying on clients possibly working with you, or what I like to call the hope strategy, which is what most entrepreneurs do. And we found ourselves helping authors, entrepreneurs just like you, to publish their own books and taught them our strategy so that they could ultimately grow their business, get their book out there, get more clients. And we started getting clients achieving things like £10,000 from their book launch. Then we had some clients hitting £30,000 from their book, £50,000 from their book, even £100,000 from their book. And it was great because one, it showed that our strategy works. But two, what I then found was we'd actually never applied it in our own business, because back then, Determined and Dangerous didn't get the return on investment for us. It didn't get the results financially that I was hoping for. And so back in November 2023, I decided to put my money where my mouth was. And I decided to publish a brand new book that I'd never published before. And then what I decided to do was I launched it in November 2023 to test the strategy and show that it is possible to make really good money from books. And so I launched Just Write the Damn Book in November 2023. And since then to date, at the time I'm recording this video, we've generated £300,000 of money into the business specifically from this book, from having this book out there. And so that's why I want to share with this in the video today, because we've proven that it works time and time again for our clients. And this is the very first time I'm sharing it outside of our client base so that you can hopefully learn how you can do it too. Now, yes, obviously, since then, we've been able to grow the business. We've been able to help our clients. I'm now known as a 2-time best-selling and award-winning author. But what I often find is most people don't realize is actually becoming a best-selling author. It's not an obvious connection to then suddenly making hundreds of thousands of pounds with your book. Most people think, well, Chloe, if you're a best-selling author, of course you've made great money with your book. Of course you have, because you're a best-selling author. It's not true. Majority of best-selling authors don't actually ever make really good money from their book, because what best-selling author really means, it means that you've achieved bestsellers with your book. But if your book's making you £1, £2, £3 per book, it's hardly going to make you millions overnight. And so there's a real myth in our industry, which is if you're a best-selling author, you will also then make a lot of money from your book. And that's not true. So the strategies I'm going to share with you today is whether or not you're a bestseller, having a best-selling status, yes, 100% will help you grow your business. But actually, what about if you could become a best-selling author and generate hundreds of thousands of pounds from your book? Because that's what I did, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So there are 3 steps I'm going to share with you in order to grow your business by making money through your book. Now, the first step, which will help you make money from your book, is actually got nothing to do with your sales strategy. It's got nothing to do with your launch strategy or your market strategy. It's all to do with the topic of your book. What most entrepreneurs do is they write a book that they want to write. Maybe the book that they thought they needed back then if they had had their struggle, right? If they were the same person as their reader is right now. Or they write the book they think their audience need. Both of those create a massive fail. Why? Because your reader doesn't want to invest in something they need. Your reader will invest in something they want. They want the shiny object. And so what we need to do is focus on one of the most famous phrases in marketing: sell them what they want, give them what they need. And so the first step is all about writing a book that they want. What is the one thing that they're going to buy? What's the problem beyond anything else that they would invest in fixing? Because guess what? If they're going to spend money on a book on that subject, they're way more likely to spend money on something else after the book. And that's where your great money comes from. Your money doesn't always come from the book sales itself. It comes from what comes after the book. And so what we want to do, my first step for you guys is exactly what I did, is write a book that people actually want to read. Write a book that answers and solves the number one problem of your audience. So here's a quick step for you. Here's a quick action you can take. Ask your audience right now, if you're thinking of writing a book, ask them, what's the number one problem that you need help with fixing right now? Or go back through any questions you've had from your audience on your social media posts, on your YouTube videos, on your podcasts, anywhere you normally speak to your audience or even your clients. Write a list of the top 10 questions you get asked the most of anything at all. And that's what you want to write a book on. Pick one of those or 2 or 3 of those if you can group them together, and that's the topic you want to write a book on. Now, when I did that, what I found was people, when I did the research, when I decided I was going to do this strategy myself back in last year in 2023, what I found was the most common thing that people wanted to answers on is how to actually write a book. I thought people wanted to know how to launch a book or market a book. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a marketing expert. I wasn't really a writing expert back then, but I knew how to write a good book. And so when I put out this feelers, when I put out these questions to my audience, everyone was saying, Chloe, how do I write a best-selling book? It was the most common question I got asked. And so guess what? I wrote the book, Just Write the Damn Book, which you can tell by the title, teaches people how to write the book. It's a book and a handbook teaching them exactly the steps to write their best-selling book. Because even though that wasn't the book I thought they'd want, it was the book they told me they want. And that's why it was a great attraction strategy to getting people into our business, then work with us and make such great money. So that's step number 1. So step number 2, one of the biggest mistakes I see people make once they've written their book is they write their book, they publish their book, and then they kind of just wait for the results to come. Here's the thing. People who read your book will read the book and get to the end and go, oh, what now? I finished the book, I want more. Imagine that you're watching a TV series or you're watching a movie and you finish it and you're like, oh, I wish there was a second movie. I wish there was another season. I wish there was something more I can do. And that's what people do with your book. So one of the biggest tips I would give you when it comes to making money from your book is you need to have something after the book that your readers can have. Ideally, something that makes you money, right? So this is something like an online course. Maybe you could have something that they buy, a subscription, a membership platform. Maybe you could run a live event. Maybe you've got something in your business already that you offer that will help people after they've read the book. Because guess what? That's where your big returns will come from. Rather than relying on a £12 or £30 book, whatever your price point is of your book, stop worrying about how many of those you're getting in and have something for £100, £500, £1,000, hell, even £10,000 from your book, because that's where the money comes from. This is what we like to call at Inspired by Publishing, the business behind the book. What is your business behind the book? When somebody buys your book and reads your book, what can they do next? What is your funnel? Because ultimately that's how you can build your monetization strategy. Because then every single time someone buys the book, you've got more chance of them also buying something else to work with you. Maybe you've got like a bundle that you could offer of worksheets or workbooks. Maybe you've got a second book or you have a series. Maybe you've got a one-to-one coaching program or a group coaching program. Whatever connects with the book, have the business behind the book. Sell that. So in your book, actually suggest that they can do this as the next step. So for example, in Just Write the Damn Book, yes, they read the book and they learn how to write their book. And then at the end, there's a series of extra resources they can do. They can join our various programs. They can buy our online course. They can join our group coaching boot camp that we run, because there's lots of options for them because they've just written their book or they need help while they're doing it. And so that's how you can generate really good income from your book. But it's not from the book itself, it's from what comes next. And that's the secret. So my question for you, let's take some action. What do you currently offer your business now? In your business, what do you currently offer your clients? What's the one thing people invest the most in? What's the most popular package or service or product that you offer? Or if you don't have one yet, what could you offer? Think about that. And that's what you want to connect with your book. So when your book goes live, that product or service is also available. So they're more than likely to buy your book and buy this product and service. Now we move on to number 3. Now, number 3 is one of the most important steps that we follow to be able to make such great money from our books. And it's all about the launch. You can have the best topic of your book in the world. You can have the best business behind the book and the best coaching program in the world. But if you don't properly launch your book, you're never going to get the good results, because how you launch your book will define how many people actually read it. And this is the reality of it. You don't need a massive audience. You don't need to have millions or even tens of thousands of followers. What you need to do, though, is have the right audience and the right launch strategy. So when we wrote Just Write the Damn Book and we launched it, we focused on really attracting people that wanted to write a book, and you make a big deal about your launch. What most people do is they write a book, they spend so much time writing the book that they have no idea what they're doing next. They're like, oh God, I just want to get it out there. They upload it or publish it or however they get it out there. And they go, hey guys, my book's available. Buy my book now. Well, guess what? They've not had any time to learn about the book, find out about the book, fall in love with the book, want the book, get excited about it. They're like, oh, you haven't given them enough time to actually fall in love and get excited and be like, I need to buy this book. You kind of want to imagine when Apple releases a brand new iPhone, or whatever tech provider you prefer or software provider you prefer, or whatever system you use, as soon as a new upgrade is there is always a queue of people wanting that. When the new Samsung device comes out, there's a queue of people outside the shop. When the new Apple phone comes out, there's a queue of people outside the shop. How do we get your queue of people, quote unquote, outside your shop on your launch day? And so the way we do that is by having a specific launch day and time, aka a launch event. Now, you can do this in person, you can do this online, you maybe even don't even need to get everyone together. But the key thing is you want as many people to be talking about your book, getting excited about your book, and ultimately wanting to buy a copy of the book at that specific day and time. Because when you get that rush effect, you've got way more people buying your book. And guess what? If you get more people buying your book, you're going to get more people buying more from your book afterwards. Then there has the ripple effect. They start to tell other people. So I'll give you an example. When I launched Just Write the Damn Book, I knew for a fact that I wanted to get as many people excited about it as possible. And so I was speaking at events around the launch time, getting everyone excited. And I was going and running my 5-day challenges, and I was doing other sort of things like events and speaking. And so when the book launch came about, I was getting so many messages and texts and DMs saying, oh my God, I can't wait to get a copy of my book. Can I get it early? And I was like, no, sorry, it's out of my hands. You have to get it on this day and time. And you create this urgency factor by having a specific day and time that people can get your book. And I remember there was this one person that actually contacted me, and I didn't know who she was. She was on Instagram, and she was due to be on a long flight. I think it was like a 20 hours of traveling during the 24-hour period that the book was launching. And she messaged me and said, please, can you give me the link early? Because I want to be able to get it before everybody else. My advice to you is this: get people excited for your book. Make sure that you get them riled up. They're looking forward to the book, and ultimately then will want to buy it, because guess what? That's why it's one of these 3 steps. It will help you monetize your book. And so that is the 3 steps that I'd recommend. So at this point, if you are now thinking about writing a book, or you've already got a book written, make sure you've got it in your plan to set a specific launch day and time. Don't set it too close, because you might end up giving yourself a bit of a stressful launch if things are not quite ready. But just have in mind to set a specific day and a specific time to ultimately buy your book. So let's recap those 3 steps. Number 1, write a book that sells. Focus on the topic that people want to buy and write a book on that. Number two, what is the business behind your book? What is the thing that people can buy after they've bought your book and continue to work with you? And number three, pick a specific launch date and time. Make a launch event about your book, so ultimately everyone who wants a copy feels the urgency, feels the scarcity, buys your book at that specific day and time, and ultimately way more chances of them buying more afterwards. And that's the 3 steps. Now, I'm curious, if you're watching this video and you'd love to know more about these 3 steps, share in the comments, what specifically would you love me to share more on? Because I'd happily record another video and share with you way more details on these, only if I know exactly what you need help with. So let me know in the comments. Now, before I finish up, there's one big thing I need to share with you that I find most entrepreneurs make this mistake. And it's worrying about putting too much in the book. They worry about giving away too much in the book, which will ultimately stop them making money. So let's say you're writing a book about your particular area of expertise. A lot of people worry that if I put loads in this book, Chloe, it's going to stop me actually getting more money. It's going to stop me making my 100K, 300K, or even more. And actually, it's not true. What often happens is people will read books over and over and over and over, and every time they read them, they get different bits of information. Nobody has the brain power to can remember everything in your book. And even if you have a book where the course is exactly the same afterwards, they're learning in different ways. How someone reads a book and the information they take from it versus how someone watches a video or how someone does a course or how someone works with you one-to-one, they are going to take so much different information. And not to mention, working with you one-to-one, very different to reading a book. And so please never worry about putting too much in your book. In fact, I would argue that if you don't put more in your book, you're actually reducing your chances of getting great results for your reader and reducing your chances of growing your business with your book. Because this is what happens. A lot of entrepreneurs will hold back in their book. And so the reader feels it. They're like, oh, I've bought this book and it's rubbish. It's like just waffly, or it only has a few key things in it. It doesn't actually share with me what I need to know. It keeps telling me it's going to tell me what I need to know, but actually I've learned nothing new. Now, if someone feels like that after buying your book, there is no way they're going to invest more money in you. However, if you write a book that genuinely helps people, that genuinely gives them exactly what they need, and you do it without worrying and being a place of lack and worrying that they're not going to buy from you, and you just focus on, I'm going to write the best book I can of the highest quality to really get them results, then they're going to feel that. And they're going to think, oh my gosh, if I got all of that for £10 or £15 or whatever they bought, they're way more likely to work with you, because guess what? They'll be thinking, well, if I paid that for £10, what am I going to get if I pay £1,000? What am I going to get if I spend £10,000 with this person? They trust you because they can feel that you've genuinely delivered. And so please don't worry about giving too much in your book, because ultimately, the more you give, the more value they get, the more of the expert they think you are, and the more authority you gain, and therefore, the more money you make. Now, if there's any part of you that's thinking, I'd love to learn more about this, I would love to be able to write my book and find out how I can actually get it out there so I can make this sort of money, then all you've got to do is click the links below and get access to one of our free resources. Maybe you'd like to get access to our book writing planner that will show you exactly how you can write your book step by step and plan it out. Or maybe you want to get a copy of Just Write the Damn Book so that you can ultimately learn how you can write and publish your own book. Now, if you are already considering writing a book and you think, Chloe, I know I'm going to need a publisher to help me get it out there. Maybe you've heard of Inspired by Publishing before and you'd like to be able to find out about how we can publish your book, then we are open for applications right now. So reach out to us, let us know, and we'll let you know the application process to be able to be considered as one of our next best-selling authors.